All right, guys. How are you doing today? Today is July 17th, 2025, and Joseph Robinette Biden is still the worst president in U.S. history. So, on today's show, we have a pretty substantial, heavy show with some goodies sprinkled out throughout. So, just sit back and relax and enjoy the show and navigate the forest with me, guys. So, on our first segment right here, we have ICE. ICE doing what ICE has been doing, and we like ICE, right? We like them. So this is an American first initiative all the way through and through, and I love it. So on July 9th, 2025, ICE HSI squad struck in Omaha, rolling up to two senior MS-13 members, and it led to them essentially capturing the biggest fish of all. One of FBI's top 100 most wanted. So one of the scooped up felons, like I said, was El Salvador's top 100 as well, MS-13 kingpin. This man is wanted on multiple counts of murder, multiple attempted homicides, kidnapping, terror ties, you name it. If it's been done, he's done it. This guy is the baddest of the bad, and this should put a huge damper on the movements of MS-13. Plus, with what Trump has been doing at the border with the Roosevelt Reservation by placing a militarized zone there, which allows our U.S. military to move in and out freely without any repercussions. This is why our border crossings are down to zero. So bravo Trump on that. So the raw truth overall is that this sanctuary style policies that are led by all of these blue cities and blue states is really, really not good. And this is how this guy was able to move in and out freely in our country without any repercussions or even being caught. It's crazy that they have us pinned down from social media and all these other things. They track our cell phones. They know everything about us, yet they couldn't pin this man down even in our country. These people are embedding themselves in our country. And what the left doesn't seem to understand is that it just takes one, not two, not three. It just takes one to do damage. Imagine them hitting a power grid. One. Oh, well, they can't get close enough. Well, we had a guy drive through a parade. He was an American. We had a guy drive through the New Year celebration. He was an American. Supposedly, allegedly. We have multiple Chinese spies in our military. Oh, they're coming to become citizens. So if we can't even catch the ones that are good, how would we catch the people that are bad? So there's no fanfare, no political correctness here, just boots on the ground, law enforcement doing their job. So bravo to ICE. This arrest is huge. It's absolutely huge. But it's not just this one. We even caught a Interpol most wanted. Yeah, they did that in Nebraska. So Iowa and Nebraska, these people are hiding out like rats. Like rats. And it's finally good to see things like this happening. We're catching pedophiles and we're catching terrorists and criminals. We're catching MS-13 gang members. Why are we complaining in America? Well, some of us complaining in America for this. This is a beautiful thing. These two people being off the streets makes the streets safer, not just here in the United States, but in multiple countries, if not the world. So I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. But what I'm not here for is, this lawfare that these judges are doing. Now, this segment is talking about SCOTUS denying Florida. Denying Florida of what? Well, Justice Thomas tells Florida they can't pass a law to protect Florida. The U.S. Supreme Court slams the brakes on Florida's bill. It's the Senate Bill 4C, if you guys want to look that up, which blocks the state, or essentially blocks anyone entering the state that's illegal. So if you entered illegally, they have it set up to where they can get rid of you. Yeah. And Justice Thomas, who's supposed to be, a conservative, right leaning, which I don't think judges should be partial to anything. I think they should be very impartial on both sides. Said no, you can't do this. So it was a 6-3 win for who I don't know because Florida lost. So SB 4C would have giving you more details, made it a felony for anyone entering into our country illegally and entering into Florida, which, according to the 10th Amendment, what's not written in the Constitution is given up to the states. So if you broke a law in, let's say, Virginia, and you went to, let's say, Las Vegas in Nevada, and they captured you there, they would take you back to the state you were from where you committed the crime. So why can't Florida do the same here? Is if these people, these illegals, these aliens, illegal aliens, come here illegally, breaking the federal law, make a law in their states that prevents the same type of behavior, where they could just kind of sort of just, hey, you're out, turn them into ICE. What is going on here? But overall, here's the truth. Florida did what sane leaders would do to protect their states and their citizens. They call out federal inaction. The federal government is not acting in some areas. And we've seen this plenty of times, week in, week out, with lawfare, with these federal lower court, inferior court judges. And now the Supreme Court, after doing so well, turns their nose up. And Thomas and Alito blanked it. They missed it, with no legal reasoning as to why, no constitutional reasoning as to why Florida can't do this. So I think that Florida should sue. I really do. I mean, I think that would absolutely drive it home that these states are no longer playing lawfare, that these states want to protect themselves and their citizens, because without the lowercase c citizen, you have no state. You have no state government. You have no federal government without people. So why are we not allowing people to be protected? It's very rare that they make good laws, and this here is a good law. It's crazy. So in closing on this particular segment here, make no mistake, this isn't an innocent trade-in for federalism. It's something that simply undercuts the states. Arizona's SB 1070 was a narrower, yet still like to the point type of bill that is very similar to the one that got shot down from Florida, and it passed. It passed. So I'm curious as to why they're doing this. I really am. It's weird. But in other news, we have a Baylor bailout. Give me a second, guys. So in this Baylor bailout, you see the University of Baylor having to pay back over $500,000. No more gay grants, as I call it. So why do we allow the government to give money to individuals and groups and stuff that aren't actually giving back to society? Baylor University bows under pressure, and they're dumping the $643,000 LGBT inclusion grant. What in God's name is an LGBT inclusion grant? Being gay doesn't stop you from going to school. You shouldn't get a special grant because you're gay. What? Is it a disability? Because I wholeheartedly believe people with disabilities should get grants and have money stored up for them to be able to go, whereas they wouldn't normally be able to go. So are you saying that this LGBT inclusion grant is because these people are disabled in some way? It wasn't a routine university academic project. It was a foundational grant aimed at only driving LGBT advocacies inside of church, dormitories, and the whole Baylor community on their campus. And I'm not trying to like fearmonger, but it is time that we just stop. Stop giving blacks handouts. Stop giving Asians handouts. Stop giving gays handouts. Just stop giving. The federal government's job is to protect the country and to make sure the states don't fight each other and to make sure that the states don't sink. It is not out here to give everybody feelings and happiness and rainbows and butterflies and Chinese food. What are we doing? What are we doing? Can we not get back to simplicity? Can we not get back to truth? Can we not get back to reality in every way, shape, and form? I'm for pulling every single last bit of one of these schools, universities that receive federal funding. Pull it all. Let's see how long these universities last without Uncle Sam's paychecks. This literally was academic activism, masquerading as research. They slipped in advocacy just so they could get people into places and spaces that they normally wouldn't be in. It makes no sense. If we are to be America first, the federal government has to pull out on all of the social programs. All of them. All of them. Let the states do what the states do. Matter of fact, stop taxing so much. Let the states help the states. That's what social programs are actually meant to do, not the federal government to do it, because we know whenever the federal government gets its paws on something, they screw it up. This was actual win here. I'm here for this. Stop giving these people of any kind handouts. I know plenty of people that didn't get handouts. And on top of that, there are like $4 billion a year of unclaimed grant money. Oh, well, I'm not going to school for that. Stupid. It's unclaimed. All you have to do is write a paper that looks somewhat similar to what they're asking for, and they give you the money. I literally know people that did this as a career every single year, applying for grants. Grants is free money. It's not a loan. It's not a Pell Grant that has to get paid back in taxes in some way, shape, or form. This literally, you have people that are out here just giving away money, and it goes $4 billion unclaimed a year. But we're giving $643,000 to this crap. It's weird. It's weird. And this goes for anything. Don't think I'm just calling out the LGBT. Anything. And this backlash was swift and raw. Critics cried, censorship. Oh, the federal government's stopping us. Oh. But guess what? Tradition, doctrine, and community values still matter. The Bible still matters. The one thing that they hate, they push out. If universities want to stay true to their core and convictions, then let no grant, pressure group, or activism or threat make you do something that you shouldn't do. Stand up to the federal government, Baylor. Harvard. Stand up to the federal government. Say, no, we're going to do it on our own. And then, when it's no longer taxpayer money funding this filth of any kind, congratulations. You can do what you want then, because it's private at that point in time. Yeah, I said what I said. In the same line of effery, as I like to call it, the DOJ affirming care. On July 15, 2025, the Department of Justice issued subpoenas to over 20 doctors and clinics nationwide that provided gender transition treatment to minors. Oh, no, they're not doing that. All throughout Trump's presidency. Oh, no, they're not doing that. All throughout Biden's presidency. And now, all of a sudden, they're finding doctors and clinics that do this. The curtain's finally been pulled back. I pulled it back years ago when I called into a clinic, an abortion clinic at that, and got a number for another clinic in New York City, Harlem to be exact. The video I still have it, where I called in and I pretended to be, with a voice changer, a 14-year-old female that wants to become male. They said I would be Code Cindy. Code Cindy. You guys want to know what Code Cindy means? I'll tell you. It means we won't tell your parents crap. If your parents call inquiring, they will know nothing. They won't even know that you called. I got the appointment and everything. Oh, well, you're just making that up. No, I still have the text messages confirming that I had the appointment. I had the voicemails confirming that I had the appointment for medication. And in my opinion, the medication's far worse on the human body and psyche than cutting off something or sewing up something. So now they're actually doing something. And these aren't fringe outliers. These are mainstream pediatric care across multiple states, and yet the DOJ is finally stepping in. Congratulations, Pam Bondi, you actually are doing something beneficial, and requesting records on hormone therapy, puberty blockers, mental health evaluations, everything. Why? Because the depth of this is emerging through the medical pipeline, and it demands scrutiny. We have to know what the heck is going on. Oh, but patient, doctor, confidentiality, screw that, they're minors. And let me be clear, this isn't science denial. It's common sense. It's protection. Minors are out here being mutilated because their parents are mentally deranged, and you have a doctor that all they want to do is collect a buck. Minors deserve informed decisions, not experimental treatments. And these treatments are pushed by activist doctors and retarded parents. State governments have rolled back these procedures, and Congress is opening up investigations. Washington is washing their hands of this and putting this to bed. But of course, your activist states are still going to do what they do. And it's nice to actually see that we're getting a shift in things and no longer silent acceptance. And we need transparency. There should be no more push for kids to be in schools getting chest binders and asking to be called something that they're not, and the parents are uninformed, like it was in Maryland and New Jersey. Those were the two biggest cases where they actually sued. And you had teachers making videos all over social media. I will protect these students. Protect them from what, Sally? What are you protecting them from? Their parents? Reality? Has that blue dye seeped into your cranium so deep that it's affecting your gray matter? You're not the parent of these children. You might spend 8 hours a day with them or 90 minutes a day, depending on the schooling, but you're not the parent. I wish you would. I wish you would tell my kid that there's something, or allow them to think that there's something that they're not. You'd have more than, the school being a problem. I won't say what I'm thinking, but I digress. So here's the deal. If you believe that the most valuable or vulnerable should be considered and get honest care, being informed, hey, if you do this, there's no going back. If you do this, your bones are going to start to become brittle. If you do this, you'll never be able to have kids. If you do this, you only have a 15% chance of ever feeling pleasure as an adult. If you do this, there is no going back. And we know that you change your mind from day to day. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Mounds have almonds. You get me. We're out here letting kids do things to themselves. For what? We already have a birth decline in our country. These people can't have babies. And why don't we prop up and talk about the detransitioners? Huh? So bravo, Pam Bondi. I will give you a hat tip to that. You actually did something good. Maybe you should be quiet more often, but that's another segment for another time. Right now, we need to talk about the Pentagon upgrading AI. Yeah, the Pentagon is using AI upgrades. More specifically, Elon Musk. The Pentagon handed Elon Musk Grok AI a $200 million contract to use its chatbot, despite the scandal where Grok spewed anti-Semitic and extremist content, praising the great Schmittler, Hitler, mustache man, whatever you want to call him, 1940 guy, bad guy, the exterminator, whatever you want to call him, days before the deal was inked in. This is funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. This isn't just a fluff. It's national security in play. Grok 4.0 and its shady behavior were live tested while, talks were going on. And the Department of Defense is demanding to know what happened. What happened? Who knows? We're talking about federal agencies trying to make contracts and deals with non-federal agencies and non-government entities for AI. You're the government. Can't you make AI yourself? Don't you have enough taxpayer money for that? You don't have to go to Grok or OpenAI or any of these others, right? What is going on? What is going on? This thing completely went off the rails and started spewing all sorts of crazies. Guys, come on. This is why we can't have nice things. We can't outsource our security to Silicon Valley and its chaos. While Elon Musk is a genius, sure, teach their own, but genius isn't enough. If Grok can't get its moral compass, even though it's a machine, I don't even know why people even think they have moral compass, but whatever. If it can't get its, I did it, Heil Hitler in check, then how the heck can we expect it to help our government? Help the Pentagon? Help our military? What? What? And this is a call to action. It's time that we demand accountability. Our Congress has been out of pocket and out of hand for a long time. They have no real checks or balances. Even though they pretend like they do, they don't. We should have them subpoena XAI's training logs. Uh-oh. Audit their moderation. Uh-oh. And vet the contract through hearings. Get Elon Musk stuttering butt in a chair and really grill him. I mean, give it to him. Don't let him pivot, pontificate, or turn away. Stand on his neck. Don't let him breathe. In more serious news, Trump is out here playing chess, European chess at that, but at a 5D level. I'm not a fan of this. Trump has gone out and given Kiev money. I'm not a fan of this, but this is not his fault. This is the Lend-Lease Act that Joseph Robinette Biden signed, and now we're in contractual agreement with them. So everybody's out here, Trump is flipped. He's flipped. He's not a man of his word. Yee! All of these remedial, simple creatures, simple monkey-minded nincompoops that wear a banner of conservative, right-leaning, GOP, Republican, have lost their ever-loving mind. While Trump did say he wasn't going to help, things change. Times change. Do you expect him to stay staunch? in his decisions when there's a contract online. And I'm not talking about minerals, I mean actual contracts. Do you know what happened on the 4th of July? Russia said, hey, F you. We're going to drop these bombs with these drones. 500 drone strikes. 500. So overall, what is happening is Trump is giving them weapons, but NATO's paying for it. And America over time will pay NATO back. I don't like this move. I think it's stupid. I love Trump. He's done a lot of great things so far, but this is stupid. They're arming Ukraine through Kiev using NATO. And the only sensible thing that comes out of this, in my opinion, is the fact that Trump said, hey, you have a 50-day deadline, Russia. If you don't, we're going to hit you with some secondary tariffs up to 100%. This is the only sensible thing, and that should have been the leading thing. We shouldn't have given Ukraine anything. NATO, they've been paying more, right? Into the NATO countries have been paying more into it. Why don't they pay us for the weapons and we give them that, and then we don't have to pay anybody back? What's awesome is that Trump is saying, hey, any country that's aligned with Russia and helping Russia in this assault is going to get 100% tariff too. And we know the tariffs are doing good. They're doing good. Billions and billions and billions of dollars rolling in off tariffs. And we, for the first time in a long time, 20 years to be exact, have a surplus, short-term surplus, and we're not running a deficit. If he can continue to do this month in, month out over time, and they continue this trend with the next president, we might actually make a dent in the, no, I'm just joking, trillions of dollars that we owe in debt. We're not doing it. I don't see it happening because the Democrats are going to find some way to sink the ship. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is the United States constantly entangled in stuff that's stupid? And I wholeheartedly believe if Trump would have gotten his second term, he would have never signed a Lend-Lease Act with Ukraine, even if the war did pop off. I don't believe the war would have popped off at all. That's just my opinion. I mean, it did take Joseph Robinette Biden and his administration rescinding the 13 sanctions, which gave Russia access to things they didn't have access to before and allowed them to posture 6 months before our election cycle back then. We all know how that went. And now we're in this war and we're paying out money to these people. Why? There's a danger here. There's a lot of bark without bite. Empty noise. Congress should reinforce this by being in lock and step with Trump and get it done, get it over with, but push these tariffs. Push these sanctions. It's already been done that we're going to give them this stuff. And people think, again, Trump has flipped. He didn't. He's just upholding his contractual obligations. I don't like it, but it is what it is, guys. We can't do anything about it. The ink is dried. It was dried under Biden. So we have to just eat it. Or, as some say, contracts are made to be negotiated. Maybe we should do a renegotiation. Art of the deal, Trump. Remember your roots, my boy. That would work. Maybe, possibly. But still along these lines, right here, say no to waste. We lose one, we gain one. The Senate has said no to waste, involving USAID, PBS, NPR. On July 17th, wait a minute, that's today. The GOP-backed Senate narrowly passed a recession bill, 51 to 48. slashing 1.1 billion with a B from corporations for the public broadcasting, PBS, and 9 billion overall targeting public radio, TV, and foreign aid. Yes. These cuts threaten 330 local PBS outlets, 246 NPR stations, especially in rural areas. Boy, they'll have a field day with this. Who cares? Why are we, the public, funding radio and news? But we have no say in what they say. PBS was prancing around showing shows with kids shows with gay and lesbian and trans and all this other stuff. If I'm paying for this through taxes, I don't want that crap on my television. You should be telling me what my government's doing. What? NPR has essentially become this rat's nest of lies, and they perpetuate preposterous BS. And PBS is over here indoctrinating your children on the low. PBS ain't been great since I was a kid. You got to be rational here. This is a good thing. Take the money away. Take it away. It's a waste. And stop using taxpayer money to fund government BS. $9 billion total. $9 billion total cut. And we know that somebody had to be getting a kickback because they were pushing agendas. They were pushing initiatives. So Trump's executive order in May was condemned by NPR and PBS, and some judge stepped in. We got to stop this. Well, the Supreme Court said, yes, you can do it. Yes, bravo. Now we're trying to get things passed through this Congress. By the way, a little bit on Congress. I said earlier that there's no checks and balances with Congress, right? None. They essentially do what they want, pass what they want, and if nobody says anything, it slides under the radar for 50 freaking years before anybody says anything. Dred Scott was not constitutional, but it passed, creating the 14th Amendment, which is not constitutional. Why we're in this mess right now with birthright citizenship, when the author said that it wasn't for what these activist judges are saying it's for. And I'm not off topic. I'm still on topic. Why is Congress allowed to do these things with no checks and balances? Stop voting these people in. Because they sit on TV? I'm going to do this for you. And stop. I'd rather you vote the greased up deaf guy into office from Family Guy, or the janitor that it doesn't know whether he's coming, going, or gone into office, than these career politicians that keep sucking all the money they can out of everybody, getting their back patted on by all of these lobbyist groups. I digress. Moving on. We're moving on, because if I don't, I'll spend 2 hours talking about that. Mm-hmm. You guys came here for news, right? Real news, truth, which I always promise to give. There will be no waste here. You see it. Comey cut loose. The DOJ purges deep state royalty. Bravo. Round of applause. Bravo. This woman, July 16th, 2025, the DOJ asked Maurene, what a suck name, Maurene Comey. What? 2 suck names. Your first and your last name suck. The assistant U.S. attorney in Manhattan, the daughter of the ex-FBI chief, James Comey, who said 8647, he thought he was being cute by putting that crap in the sand. We all know what it means. And your creature looking of a daughter is gone now. James Comey is known for prosecuting the Epstein, Maxwell, and most recently Diddy. Maurene Comey has been fired under Article 2. No reason given. She's been a fixture at the SDNY since 2015, leading the Ghislaine Maxwell conviction and that intense sex trafficking, whatever you want to call it, case with Diddy. I wonder if she's part of hiding the files. You know, I don't want to get into that topic, but is Epstein still alive? What happened in that 1 minute missing tape? Did they film that in a basement somewhere? This show does have a little bit of conspiratorial aspect to it, but I might be doing a special. Is Epstein still alive? This is awesome to see the Department of Justice getting rid of some of these people. And a lot of people are critiquing and crying and about Trump is just getting rid of everybody that we love. The Southern District of New York is the most disgusting, depraved place on the planet. They say that Ukraine was the back alley where they shook hands and did deals in secret and silence, and in the night, the Southern District is where they just let criminals go. And they convict people that aren't criminals. 34 felonies. What? Bruh, that was copy paste. It's the same. Before NPR gets taken down, go to their website or Google. You guys like to do that, right? What were Trump's 34 felonies and put NPR behind it? They have a whole list. It's all the same dang thing. While Diddy's out here punching people in the face, rubbing GHB on people, making them more susceptible and receptive to certain activities, but because she says she liked it, he gets off. Bro, what logical person would tell their abuser that they don't like something to get abused further? Aren't these lawyers supposed to be smart? Not in the Southern District of New York. No. No, they just say what they want to say and just pass what they want to pass and slip what they want to slip. The deep state is losing their hold on reality. And by deep state, it's these career politicians that's been in here 40, 50, 60 years. And then they put their family members in that aren't qualified. Mr. Hunter Biden painting $20 million to China. What? He's a lawyer? How many cases has he overheard or presided in? What are we doing? What are we doing? This has to be a joke. She left office escorted by her colleagues chanting, "Fear is the tool of a tyrant," which were her words. And she walked out. That is the dumbest thing. This is like these black activists in Congress. We shall overcome. You're not overcoming crap. Might want to go wade in the water and wash the stupid off. Fear is the tool of a tyrant. What fear? That you won't be a legacy and pop out of another gremlin and raise them up to put them in office? Yeah. Moving on. Moving on. Guys, it has been a pleasure to do this show today with you. And I hope you've enjoyed it, learned something. Take what I've said, go research it for yourself. Because I could be lying. I'm not. I won't. Go research it for yourself. It's there in black and white. Our verse today comes from Proverbs 21:15. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall fall or be to the workers of iniquity, the evildoers. Maurene Comey has fallen. She's a worker of iniquity. Make sure you're not one of the ones missing the forest for the trees. And have a good day. Thank you.